Okay, it says we are now live. We will give people just a couple of minutes to jump on, hopefully. And can you still hear me okay? It looks
I
like I'm
can.
buffering a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Nope, I can hear
Good.
you fine.
Okay, great. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
I celebrate all month, so one day is just not insignificant. But
But today's the
when the
actual
numbers,
day.
yeah, when the numbers start getting up there, you just might as well
Yeah.
party a little harder all month long because you can't do what you used to could when you were younger. We have a packed house tonight. I'm sitting in front of a coffee house. Do you drink coffee?
All the time.
All right, we can be friends. You lock my door. Lock my door. I don't know what's going on out there.
I saw your ketone test a few minutes ago.
Listen, that's
Your
the first time that I had ever done that. Do you do your testing?
I I do. I did. Sometimes I do. I went on Amazon to order more. I have the same one you have, and they said that the strips were unavailable and they didn't know when they were going to get more in because they've
Because
upgraded. There's
they're
Mhm.
selling the new machine. That's not fair to the
Yep.
rest of us, though, right?
Right. I didn't go on their website though. They might be selling from their website and just not on Amazon anymore. I don't know.
But those
But
prices are probably a little higher over there on their website, you think?
I don't know. Do you watch Steve on Serious Keto? He does a lot of cooking and uh,
It's,
his name is
I,
Steve, Serious Keto.
yes,
Um,
yes, okay.
okay, he got the new meter and he said that we were going to get an invitation if we had bought a meter to exchange it for a really good price. Like I guess mail the old one back in or buy the new one and send it back in the box, something like that. And so um, I did the last time I loaded it on my phone, to transfer from the machine over to my phone. It came up, but it didn't look like it was a sale price or anything. So I just got out of it. So
Mm.
all I have
I
left
want
is ketones. I don't have any glucose ones left, or yeah, glucose left.
Well, I hope that I can find. That was the first time I'd used it. I won it in a giveaway probably a year ago, and I've just never dug
Oh,
it out to try it. So that was my first time. I would be very sad if I couldn't find any more to
I
test.
know. I know. And it didn't seem like they said the strips were going to be cheaper. I think they give you, I think it's 60 instead of 50, and it's for like $45 instead of 50. I mean, it is cheaper, but it's not that much cheaper.
Yeah, and they could have gave us a little bit more than just 10. Come
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, we have a movement here of people who are using this machine.
Yeah,
Um,
because I was waiting for the what's the name of the other one? The one that oh, I can't think of her. Or not Michelle. Nicole Burgess uses. I can't remember the name of that tester.
the
That one is
the
only ketones, and then she
keto
has.
coach.
I
Does
can't
that sound
remember what
right?
her name is.
But
It might just be Nicole Burgess is their channel name.
I
But
meant the machine. Is it called a
oh,
keto coach?
yes,
There's
yes,
yes. Okay.
yeah. I
I've seen
think you
those
broke up
too.
a little bit. I didn't hear all of what you said. Yeah, Keto Coach, and they're supposed to come out with a dual meter in the fall. So I was going to wait and maybe buy that one. And then
See
they
which
said,
one's
well,
cheaper.
yeah, exactly. Because I don't think they're going to vary that. I mean, they vary, but they're probably not going to vary that much.
Okay. Well, we have two people here. We have Frugal Mama of Boys. Hello. And Michelle Bowker, I think. Hello. How are you
Hello.
guys tonight? Post us any questions for you guys who are listening, and we will get to those in just a little bit. But since we're a couple of minutes in now, we'll hope that more people will join us, but we'll go on with the questions. Is there a specific time we need to let you go? Evie, you just stop me in the middle
No.
of whenever
Okay.
it is. And we will just end there or whatever. But my
Okay.
first question is, why keto?
Well, I had 5 surgeries in 2019 and I wasn't healing. And the doctor told me to really focus on the protein. And I started doing that. But it was like my surgery started in February. And, I heard focus on protein, and I really didn't pay attention to it. So about November, I decided to start focusing on the protein because for my blood work, I think the doctor thought that I was very unnutritionally sound. They can tell a lot of stuff from your blood. So I think I was kind of like in a starvation mode. And so he sent a nutritionist in when I was in the hospital to talk to me. And she said that I needed to get 60 to 90 grams of protein a day. So I started reading about it and kind of found out that carbohydrates really weren't very good for you. I mean, I just really didn't know. So I decided to go low carb in December. And as I read more and I started watching videos, I decided that keto was going to be the best way for me to go. And as time has gone on, I don't really eat very many vegetables. I eat some mushrooms and that's about it. I don't have a sweet tooth, so I don't try any of the keto bars. I have tried the keto fat bombs that are made by Slim Fast. My daughter bought some and didn't like them, and she gave them to me. But it took like 4 months to get through a partial box. I mean, they were good, but I just don't have that desire to eat anything sweet. And vegetables kind of taste sweet after a while, so I kind of gave those up.
Right. So you're mostly then carnivore, with just a vegetable here and there, or ketovore, I guess some people are calling it, with a little
Yeah.
veg
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's mostly meat. It is mostly meat. And as I've gotten closer to my goal weight, I mean, I probably won't be to my goal weight till next summer, I would imagine. Just because it's so incredibly slow now. So, I mean, I
Right.
may just stop where I'm at too. I'm just going to leave that up to my body to decide.
Right. So you're kind of at a set. You think you might be at a set point where your body is comfortable where you are.
Yeah, I'm 5'9" and I went and had a body fat assessment done when I was in my 30s, and I'm 57 now. So it was many years ago, over probably 25 years ago. And they said my ideal body weight was 136. And so I thought, well, I'll do 137. I'll just do 1 pound higher. And I'm at 143 right now. So, I mean, does that really make that big of a difference? No, not really. So if my body stops here, that's fine. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I feel good. And if it goes down some more, then it does. If it doesn't, that's fine too.
That's, so how much have you lost altogether? I know it's very significant.
Um, I started out at 203. It's 50 something, 50
That's
something, middle
good.
50s, something like that. Yeah. I really didn't realize I was fat. I mean, I knew my clothes were bigger than they used to be, but you just go in and you buy something that stretches. And then
Right. You get in that
you put them on, and when
routine.
you get them out of the dryer, they look like this big. And then
Right.
when you take them off, they look like this big. And so I just didn't really pay much attention to it. But my son got married in 2013, and we drove up to Missouri for his wedding. I'm in Texas. And I saw the pictures when they came back, and I was like, now I had a hard time finding a dress that I thought would hide what I was trying to hide. But I was okay with what I found until I saw the pictures came back, and I was like, oh, I look disgusting. And I went on a kick where I went back to running, which I should never have run being that heavy. I mean, it was too hard on my knees. It was basically just too hard on my knees. And I was eating a lot of salads and I was juicing. And, right after a run, I felt fantastic. Or like hiking on bike trails, I felt absolutely fantastic. And I'd come home and I would eat the salad and I still felt fantastic. But about 2 hours later, you're just starved again, because there's no real protein. It was just vegetables and it just wasn't enough to sustain. But I didn't know any different. I didn't know why that was happening, but I was losing weight. I was losing
Right.
weight. And so I lost down to 165, I think, in 2014 after, because they got married in October. So we had holidays coming and I didn't worry about it. I started the following year in 14 and I got down to 165. And then as quick as I started exercising and watching what I was eating, I just put the brakes on and I stopped. And then I had all the surgeries in 2019. And then that's when they looked at the blood work and I was low on a lot of stuff that, I mean, I compared my new blood work I got back and I was like, oh, I see why he sent a nutritionist and I thought my husband had said that I wasn't eating at all. And that's why he was like, you need to eat, you need to eat, you need, well, I was eating. I just wasn't eating what I was supposed to eat.
Right.
And the protein, the meat has fixed absolutely everything. And to be hungry when you're eating mostly meat is a completely different hunger than when you're eating mostly vegetables or, carbohydrates.
Right. It's actually your body's real signal telling you need to eat something else
Yeah.
to get through those calories versus I'm just
It's
hungry
not
because
that
I'm snacking.
shaky hungry, like I'm going to be sick if I don't eat something instead of just, um, I need to get something to eat pretty soon because I'm feeling hungry. It's just a completely different hunger.
Right.
Do something else and forget about it or forget to eat.
Right. I think people don't understand that when we say that.
Hmm.
Sometimes I just forget to eat because we're satiated otherwise. Okay, we'll just look at these comments real quick. We've got Lily Carter. Hey, Lily. And Jennifer Angus is here. She wanted to know let's see, what kind of macros do you follow in a typical day? Or do you do macros since you're just doing mainly carnivore? Do you still follow a macro schedule?
I quit logging about a month ago. I was doing really high protein and low fat. And I switched it up. I switched it to higher fat and probably about 100 grams of protein a day, but then the fat would be that or more. When everybody fasts different, everybody does their journey different. And I drink coffee several times a day and I put the cocoa butter in it. I put heavy cream in it. I put skinny syrup in it. I would drink coffee exactly like I want to drink it, and every cup is going to be like that. I don't drink black coffee. And I drink most of my water with Mio in it. To me, that's fasting. If I'm chewing it, I'm not fasting. But if I'm drinking it, I'm fasting.
Oh, right. I've
It's
actually
really
went to that kind of. I
it's
have
actually
went to
good
that kind
for
of
me.
mentality as well.
Well, the thing is that like I think that some of the sausages I eat could stall me because there's the spices and the seasonings and so on in there. And could I get down my whatever it is, less than 10 pounds if I focused on a really good clean fast and I focused on just eating ground beef instead of the pork sausage? But that's not what I want to do long term. That's not my lifetime goal. I want to get up and go, bacon and eggs sound good, or sausage and eggs sound good, or a steak sounds good, or chicken with a bunch of seasoning on it sounds good. And that's what I want to eat. I don't want to be like, oh, but I've got that 2 pounds of water weight, so I can't eat that today. I want it to be what I can do the rest of my life. And that's what keeps me going.
Right. Did you have ailments before you started keto that like besides the back issues? Did you have other diabetes or anything else that you feel like that keto has helped you with?
Yes, a lot. I had the bad blood test before all of my surgeries last year, and then I was told to follow up with my regular doctor, and I did. And my fasted um, insulin was 104. And of course, I was overweight. I was in the 190s at that point, and my cholesterol was high. I did a video on it in the very beginning of how the numbers had changed. I mean, everything went better. My thyroid was 4.75, which that's like borderline for needing medication. And my thyroid has been like that since 2010 when I had my hysterectomy. And this is 2020. So it's 10 years my thyroid has been out of whack. And I haven't taken any medication for it. And when I decided to go excuse me, keto, um, from February to May, March, April, May. Yeah, I had my next blood test in May. My thyroid went down to 2.75 or
Wow.
2.56, something like that. It's within the normal range now. And I couldn't believe that for eating like this for 3 months could correct the problem that I've known about for 10 years. I don't know how long it's been that way, but I've known about it for 10 years. Cholesterol went down, and I think that was the major things that went down was the cholesterol, the thyroid, and the fasted insulin was 83 3 months later.
And is that about where you are now on a
Hmm.
fasting level? About in your 80s, somewhere in the 80s?
Hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, because I usually finish eating by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I like to eat breakfast and lunch instead of dinner. Um, and that's because my husband works kind of odd hours. He may come home at 4, he may come home at 8. I don't want to eat that late, so I just shifted my meals up to earlier in the day. But I just lost my train of thought. I lost what the um, question was.
Well, I think you covered the answer, but I was letting you
Okay.
talk about the 80s. Where is your fasting glucose
Oh,
now?
okay. So I
So in
tested
the 80s.
before. Yeah, I tested last night, probably around 7 or 8, and I had finished eating at 3 or 3:30, and it was 86, and my ketones were 1.4.
That's
So
great.
that I think that's good for eating twice that day. So I
Right.
haven't done it like completely fasted in the morning in a while, but it'll go down to the 70s. If I do, like I don't drink my coffee at night, like it just doesn't sound good to drink a cup of coffee at night. And then I get up in the morning and I haven't had any, then I test my blood, it'll be in the 70s.
Okay, well, that's great. Okay, well, let's see who we've got here. We have Andre Pitts is here. Jelly from Fat to Keto said
Hi,
hello.
Jelly.
Tennessee Keto Mama is here. Hello. Lily Carter has said she switched to carnivore 2 months ago and loves it. And then Diana is here. She says hello.
Hello.
And Lily says you have those are great numbers. Are you the only ketoer in your household, or is your husband currently doing the keto with you? Or
He is doing it with me. He started in February as well. So I do most of the cooking during the week. I should say reheats. We cook together a lot of times on Sundays, and we have stuff to bring to work or eat when we get home. And sometimes he doesn't even eat when he gets home. He eats breakfast and lunch too, and then doesn't eat when he gets home. And sometimes he does. But he lost. I'm trying to think what he started out. He's really tall. He's like 6'3". He started out around 250, and he's at like 204 now, just from February. And he'll come in if he decides he wants to eat at 9 o'clock at night. He'll eat a full meal, and he doesn't count any macros. He never has. He's never intentionally said I'm fasting. He'll be working in the garage and come in at 1 o'clock and be like, "Have we eaten anything today?" So he does fast, but he doesn't know. He's not going. Today is a fasting day. He just doesn't eat.
he eats when he's intuitive with his eating. He just eats when he's hungry and he doesn't
Yes,
when he's
yes,
um maybe a video idea, but he could give us other people who are trying to get our husbands on board some tips
that's true. That's true.
because I can't. I, he will eat some things, but then he follows it up with a bag of chips or something. So it's
Uh
a
huh.
moot point at this point. But you know, if I don't bring it in the house, he's going to stop at the convenience store. So I'm working. I'm
Yeah.
working on it. I'm trying to get him.
Yeah.
That is great. Well, do you guys have kids or family there where you are in Texas? Did you start in
Yes.
Texas?
No, I started out, I was raised on the West Coast, and mostly raised in Oregon. And then I moved to Michigan when I was 22 and pregnant with my first one. And he is a police officer in the town that we live in, a canine officer. And he's going to be 34 next month. And I have a daughter that lives about 8 miles away, and my son lives about 5 minutes away. And my daughter lives about 8, 10 miles away, and she's going to be 31 in January. So we have nobody at home anymore, of course.
Right.
Can't
Right.
believe
Right.
I'm old enough to have kids that old.
We're just
Crazy.
29, right? We're 29 and
All
home. How
right.
does this happen, right? I still have one at home. I'm unwilling to have him there, but he's still there.
How old is he?
He's 22. And he's decided he just doesn't want to go back to school, and he's got a little part-time job, and he's living at mom and dad's, and he's having a big old time. But we've had to have that talk with him. Listen, it's time to set up your life and move on.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
be an empty nester, and I
Yeah.
can't
Kick
have
him out.
grandbabies if you're still living here. So
Yeah,
get
exactly.
get
Or the
out.
grandbabies will be living there too.
No, no, I hope not. I mean, knock on some real wood. I'm nowhere near. I hope that doesn't happen, but of course, things
Yeah, you
happen.
never know. So I have one grandbaby that was born July 1st.
Aw.
So he's just a little guy. Well, he's a little big guy.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
So
that's so sweet. I tell
kind
mine
of
I'm in.
tough, kind of tough being born the year of 2020 with COVID, because we had to wait until he had all of his shots at 2 months old before we could ever see him. And now you got to mask up and wash your hands, and it's like you can just shower and put fresh clothes on. You just can't be too careful.
Right, right.
But hopefully things are going to settle down, and next summer will be a completely different story.
Oh, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope you're right. I'm praying about it. That's all I can say. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure I am.
Yeah.
So Diana said she's neighbors with you. She's in Oklahoma.
Oh, hello.
I am in Tennessee, away
I
from
couldn't
all of
remember
my
what state you
family.
were. I couldn't remember what state you were in. You're in Dr. Barry's state.
Yes, he actually moved from one side of me to the other side because he used to live out in Camden, Tennessee, and I think now he's in Nashville, right? So, we could have been neighbors, but he moved
Yeah.
way far, 2 hours away. But I used to laugh at when he was in Camden, all of his stuff said Nashville, Tennessee. And I thought, that's not right. You're not in Nashville, you're in Camden. But anyway, he really is in Nashville now. So I guess that was his thing all along. So that does lead me up to another question about which physician would you suggest people to start watching for good information out there? Which
I guess it would depend on the reason if that you want to change the way you eat. If you simply want to be healthy and have somebody that has a good, positive attitude and covers a ton of different subjects, Dr. Barry by far. If you want to cure a carb addiction, Dr. What's his name? Oh shoot. It's like CY or CW. I don't remember his name at the moment, but his
okay,
channel name is the Carb Addiction Doctor or something like that.
okay. So if you could Google that, I'm sure, and find him.
Yeah, and Dr. Westman is a good doctor.
Hmm.
He's kind of to the point. I don't seem,
Hmm.
like Dr. Barry can be a little bit humorous. And then Dr. Berg, he sells a lot of supplements and he pushes a lot of vegetables, but he has a lot of good information too. I like his older videos more than I like his newer videos. I haven't watched him in a while, but I think Dr. Barry's my favorite, and I like his wife Nisha as well.
Right, I follow both of
Yeah.
them as well. We have Kealicious Life is here. Hello, Lily
Hey.
Carter. Still, she says she watches all the doctors that you listed. I started with Dr. Westman, so I really like him. But like you said, Ken Berry has got some flourish to him, and so I
Yes.
he tries to get on the what everybody's talking about today. So I like that too. So we can dispute some of the rumors and
The
all
video
that
that
stuff.
sticks with me that he did was he had a loaf of bread and a Hostess ding dongs or Twinkies. He had all these different packaged foods, and some were sweet and some weren't. And he's like, you know what the difference is between this one and this one and this one? And he said nothing. It all
Mhm.
turns to sugar in your body. And I'm like, wait, what? And he had my attention from that day on.
Right.
And I found Dr. Westman from Jelly. She talked about his page 4 all the time. I think I'm saying his name right. I think it's Dr.
With
Westman.
mhm.
Yeah.
Diana says it was Dr. Cywes, Cywes is who
That's
you
it.
were
That's it.
referring
That's
to. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Diana. I don't think I've heard of that doctor yet. So I'll have to check that out.
I think you'd like him.
All right, I'll have to go. I, I've been doing it for quite some time now, so I don't, unless I have a question, I don't really follow many of the doctors anymore. I guess I should, but but I but I don't. Have you looked into Dr. Mindy as of yet?
Yes. Pe- uh, Peltz?
I can
Is that her name? I
yeah,
think it's
that's
Mindy
right.
Peltz.
Tells.
Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
like her. She did a really interesting video a couple of days ago on hair loss because I did experience that. It's regrowing now. I mean, I lost all the hair on my arms. I wasn't having to shave under my underarms. I wasn't having to shave my legs. The
Oh,
shower was clogging up with hair from my head. It was absolutely terrible. I believe it was Dr. Barry said iodine was very important to take. And I've been taking the collagen all along, like everybody says, collagen, collagen, collagen. I don't think that did anything for me. When I started taking the iodine was when I started growing hair back. I did the collagen from probably February through, I quit taking it a month ago. And I started taking the iodine about 3 months ago. And it's just been crazy on how low we are on iodine. I think it was Dr. Barry was explaining where you get your iodine from. If you live in a coastal town where the sea air blows over like the grass that the cows are eating, you're getting more iodine in your meat. And when there's vegetation that's grown in soil that's rich with iodine coming off of the sea, you get a better quality of a vegetable. But we don't have it growing here in the interior states. Um, the animals don't eat the iodine, and we don't get it in our vegetables from our gardens, even if we grow it ourselves. And just talking about how important iodine was, and I thought, well, I'm going to try that. And so I quit taking the collagen altogether.
I haven't taken a collagen supplement on a regular basis either. Excuse me, either. I do my own bone broth and stuff like that, but
Mm-hmm.
it's irregular. But I haven't looked into the iodine either. But I was watching Carnivore Yogi the other day. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you've ever seen her
Yep.
before, but she was talking about the deficiencies, what your body's symptoms are when you're deficient in your sodium, magnesium, and potassium. And I've been fighting with my eye twitching for over a year. I've went to
That's
the doctor.
annoying.
It is so annoying. And she said you need to up your electrolytes. That is an electrolyte imbalance. Try that first and then go from there. But the doctors were like, here, take this pill. Here, take this pill. You need glasses. I mean, I'm wearing my readers and I can wear them and still have a problem with it. So I didn't even I've looked it up too, and I didn't find that anywhere. But she said as soon as she corrected her electrolytes, that the twitching from her eye would stop. And I need my eyes. I'm a housekeeper for a living, and so if it's being difficult that day, then it's hard for me to see what I need to see. So
Well, I mean, that makes sense if you think about it because it's a muscle that's doing it. And when you
right,
get the leg cramps and cramps in your feet, it's your muscles that are needing something, and that's why that makes complete sense. But I know I had eye twitching problems a long time ago, and it would seem like when I was like focused in on talking to somebody face to face, and then here goes the eye twitch, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I bet they can see that because my eyes just going crazy.
I think that too. I think is everybody seeing this happening? I mean, is this really happening or? Diana says Dr. Boz is great too. Dr.
Oh my
Bosworth,
gosh, yes, 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 I do
seen her
love.
before. My nephew is here. Zesnik is here. Hello, Chad. How are you? Let's see. Keto Life. I know your name right off the back of my head, but I can't think of it right now to call you by name. But she says she's having a collagen coffee right now, and she also takes iodine supplement now as well.
Awesome.
And then Chad says he can't stay long. That's okay, Chad. Thanks for being here. Thank you all for being here. Okay, so if you were to give two pieces of advice to someone starting keto for the very first time, what would your two top suggestions be for that person?
Watch some videos. Watch some videos and find somebody that you can relate to, like maybe age-wise, gender-wise, and a good doctor to listen to. So you're getting good information. And the second would be to be kind to yourself and be patient because, um, we have, I think, especially as women, we have a lot of emotions that run our lives, and we're responsible for a lot of things that I know some men do help and they do know where they're in a house by themselves, but we have to make sure that laundry is done, dishes are done, the floor is clean, all these things that we're like, oh my gosh, it's almost bedtime and I still have to do this. And sometimes you have to let some of that other stuff go, just like when you have a new baby, and you're just like, let the dust bunnies go and take super good care of yourself, get enough sleep, and, you know,
Uh-oh, we're frozen. Bye, Jelly. Yes, please, you guys hit the like button. Um, I don't know. So, Evie, if you can still hear me, you are completely frozen, and I don't know what to do on my end to fix it. Do you know how I can fix it? Okay, well, we've lost Evie, but if she comes back in, I will bump her back into the screen. Um, Jelly, you're probably already gone, but bye, and thank you for being here. In case we get Evie back, she is also Keto Phast, if you guys didn't know that already. And so when I upload the video, I will leave a link for her channel as well. But if we have her come back, does anyone have any questions for Evie or for me? Am I buffering as well or no? Anybody? Diana, yeah. Okay, let's see if we can't put her back in. Um okay.
there we are.
There we are. All right. Okay.
That
Technical
was crazy.
difficulties.
Yeah.
So she says not in my phone. Let's see. I completely forgot where you were going with
We,
that,
w- we
trying to fix it.
Well, we were just talking about the top two things, and I think I pretty much said it was,
Okay.
to find people that you can relate to that are going to be able to help you, keep you motivated, and then to be kind to yourself and let everything go that you can let go and just focus on what is making you feel good, after you eat it, and make sure you're getting plenty of sleep. And um, walking is helpful too. I mean, just taking care of yourself.
Yes. And so that does lead me into another question I wanted to ask you. Exercise or no exercise during this keto journey? Did you start out doing exercise or do you do it now?
Well, I couldn't start out doing exercise because I had pelvic floor surgery and I had a colostomy done, and then that was reversed. And I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically the bag where they reroute your intestines. So you poop in
And
a
then
bag, basically.
they
So
were
I did
you
that
were
for
able to
7 months, and then they reversed it after the last pelvic floor surgery. So no, I couldn't exercise for quite a while. I'm a regular walker, and I did lift weights every day for a long time where I actually developed some arm muscles. And I did that like I did many or my other diet back in 2014. I started it and I did it for probably a full 6 months. And then one day I just stopped, but I still walk. I don't like to lift weights.
I didn't lift weights at all until recently, and I'm loving lifting weights, but
Good.
walking's my jam too though. I walk every day regardless if I'm doing laps inside or outside, but I'd rather be outside. I'd rather be in nature, but sometimes
Yeah,
that doesn't happen. But
yeah, the time passes and I go to a park that is the park starts about 3 houses away from the house I'm in. And I see the same people there every night, and there's ducks to feed. And so yes,
no.
that's kind of fun.
I remember the one where you were in and there was a storm coming and your
Oh
husband came
my
to pick you up.
gosh.
That you could barely hear you. You could tell you were trying to scream over the
I was
sound, but it was hard to
scared.
hear you. I
I was
bet.
scared. And so I called my husband and I said, "Hey, will you come get me?" And he goes, "I'm on my way." And about that time, I heard his truck tires squealing into the parking lot. And the wind was blowing so strong, I couldn't get the truck door open. He had to get out and open the door for me. And I was
That's
lifting weights then too, and I still couldn't open the door.
good. I didn't work out to begin with either. Just my joints were aching so much, and the weight just who wants to work out when when you've got that much weight to lift?
Hmm.
So I just didn't, but I kind of enjoy it now. It's a little bit of a stress reliever.
Are you just using barbells? Is that what you're
I
doing?
am. I am. Um, I'm trying to think of that. It's a beach body program. A 21 day fix is the one that I do. And autumn there is really, I just like I said, I didn't enjoy the weights before until I done that workout, and I thought, she's doing it a little different along with your body weight stuff. So
Oh,
it's not
okay.
just the weights, and so that's really fun. Bye, Chad. He's got to go.
I
He
guess you
says,
probably know I can't see anybody that's in here, so that's why I'm not saying hello to anybody.
oh, that's okay. There's somewhere somehow you can see that, Evie, but I don't know how enough to tell you where to find them. Um, let's
Oh,
see.
all I had to do was, well, yeah, I guess I can see them now. They look completely different from when I'm watching somebody else on live.
Yes, yes. This is also a StreamYard's program and not actually YouTube. So let's see. I'm a little behind you
Okay,
guys.
so
I'm sorry.
Diana asked, does Evie eat try to ketify old recipes or just eat whole foods? Mostly just eat whole foods. I am not a recipe follower really. I don't like to get measuring cups out and stuff. I like to open the refrigerator and go, what can I throw together and make a meal? And so if I do it that way, I throw everything into a pot or everything into a pan I'm going to bake it in. And so it doesn't have very many ingredients in it really. Now I went through my pantry and I bought all of the clear containers and I did my almond flour and I cut out all of the labels and I put the nutrition on the back and I got the swerve and I've got pecan flour. I've got all the pantry and it just sits in there and looks pretty. I don't use it.
Well, it's there
I
if
was
you
going to.
if you ever decide it's if you want a mug cake or something, you've got all the
Yeah,
ingredients in
yeah,
there
yeah.
just in case. All right, and hey, Dad, that's my dad, Sir Pa. He tried to get us to have our kids call him that, but nobody wanted to call him that. So I told him he should name himself here on YouTube Sir Pa. So somebody
And
can
he did.
somebody can call him Sir Pa. Let's see.
Well, hello, Sir Pa.
And Lily says she's done the same thing. She bought all that stuff and she's turned carnivore, and so it's just sitting there, I'm sure. So I know that you're carnivore now. So I'm sure you don't eat any of the keto treats, but did you ever go by the net carbs, or did you always, or have you always been a total carber? Or I know you don't track now, but
Um, I did when I first started, I was eating vegetables. I was eating like cauliflower and broccoli, and I really noticed that it does cause a lot of gas and a lot of
hmm
water retention, and that doesn't feel good. And
right,
I mean, the taste was okay, but if it wasn't something that I really wanted, I didn't see the point in going back and eating it again to feel like kind of bloated again. So I think it's just me. I don't think that reacts that way in everybody, but there were days when I would get up. If you're doing vegetables, I mean, you almost have to do net carbs because they add up really, really fast.
hmm
Occasionally, I will eat jalapeno peppers, where you stuff them and wrap them in bacon. Those don't seem to have any effect on me, and mushrooms. And I love onions. I mean, I could like just eat half an onion. Like when I would eat a burger, it was like a big bite of onion with the burger. And I found onions did the same thing to me. So I don't even eat those anymore. I never knew it
right.
was onion doing it.
Right. Well, people who have stomach issues on a regular, a doctor will give them the pepper salt, the pepper seasoning to help tame stomach issues. So that's probably why those jalapenos don't bother you any.
Really? I
The
did not know
not
that.
not cayenne, but there's something else that's not coming to my head right now. But the reason why that the peppers probably aren't. Diana wants to know, do you buy all of the latest keto stuff coming out? And I think you kind of covered that. Since you're carnivore, you don't probably.
No, I never have. I've looked at them and they're really expensive. And Um, so I look at it like, okay, this is going to cost me $10, but if I go over and buy a steak, I can get a steak for 15. So I kind of look at it like that I would rather have the steak because I don't really care for sweets that much. If
Right.
I do eat something sweet, over the summer, I did make some Jello with some berries in it, and then made the heavy cream whipped topping. And my husband likes that. He'll eat that a lot. But I don't no, I don't. And maybe I would like it. And if I liked it, I don't really want to get started on that.
hmm
I just
That
don't. If I don't know what
I
I'm missing out on. But even at
think,
Christmas time, all we'll have all the cakes and all the pies, and I pass them by. I'll go for the chips and queso any day over a piece of pie or a piece of cake.
weight loss and superfood. Lily says she had a piece of Lily's chocolate today, jacked my blood sugar 90 points in 30 minutes. I thought one little
Whoa.
Halloween treat wouldn't hurt me. Oh no. Funny story about the Halloween candy there, Lily. I don't know if you follow Keto for Real Life People, Nancy Childress over at Keto for Real Life People. That is one of the reasons why she started her channel, is because she had one piece of candy from Halloween. She thought that was going to be fine, and she ended up eating half of the bag. And she went back to her keto group and posted in there that she needed help and what could she do after a candy binge. And they basically really run her out of the group and made her feel
Oh
really bad about
no.
it. So she started. She said, "Well, the heck with it. I'm just going to start my own group." So that's what she did.
Well, that's not very nice.
No, well, you know how those keto Facebook groups are. um, they can't be nice. They can't pass it by if they see something that they don't like. So I got out of most of them. So that's one of the reasons why. She says it was supposed to be diabetic friendly, the Lily's candy.
Well, thank goodness she tested those so she knows not to do that again,
Right,
because otherwise she wouldn't, unless it made her feel awful. Otherwise she wouldn't know.
right. Well, I would think 90 points is she was probably feeling a little atrocious at that
I
point.
would think so.
But all those things that say keto on the front of it. You just, like you said earlier, you need to do your research before you start down this road, because if you believed every person that put keto across their product, you
Hmm.
know, yeah. She says she felt
Oh, she
really
says
bad.
that. I see that. I bet she did.
I bet so. I was watching a a video earlier where Keto Personality had ate one of those Think bars, and it did
Hmm.
his that it jacked his blood sugar up so far that, and they're supposed to be keto, so you just never know. And each body's different too, or you may be able to do one thing, and
Hmm.
I can't do that one thing. So you just, that's why we have to. My light
Good
won't
night,
stay on.
Andre.
Good
I
night,
remember
Andre.
being a kid during the holidays, and my grandmother would make homemade candy, and we would eat as much as we could, but it would make us feel sick to our stomachs. You go back,
Hmm.
get a piece of turkey, and then they'd be like, "Well, now I can eat more candy." So, I mean, sugar has had an effect on me my whole life, and I didn't know it. As a kid, I remember that sick to my stomach feeling, like probably Lily was feeling after she ate that chocolate. And the only thing that made me feel better as a kid anyway was eating some turkey, and then I was able to go back and repeat the process.
Levels your sugar out so you could eat some more sugar. Oh me. So have you ever helped anyone else in your personal life, eh, besides your husband, become keto, or educated them on keto or anything like that?
No, I kind of tried to get my daughter to kind of suggest it to her, and she is a high carb person. She really wasn't interested in it. Um, she fasts though. She only eats once or twice a day, but her fasting is eating like 2 or 3 starbursts throughout the day. Yeah,
Mm. Oops.
but she's young enough to do that, I suppose.
Well,
So,
well, probably to her in a 12-hour period, 3 pieces of candy is probably a lot smaller in carbs than what she is doing on a regular basis. So it looks like it's working, but in the long run, we both know that's probably not going to work for
well,
her long.
compared to how she used to put candy away, it's a big improvement. Because she would go to the gas buy like 6 or 8 bags of candy, and she'd open all of them up and sit in front of the TV and just eat all of them.
I
Just
can remember that.
so for her to eat 3 starbursts is 3 pieces is quite a cutback.
Right.
So I mean that's good. Any cutback on sugar is good.
Well, yeah, yeah. And like I say, her youth and
Hmm.
everything is playing fair for her now. Let's see. Lily says she went back to a steak. Diana is, I'm ketovore mostly, but man, I get caught up in watching others eat these new things on YouTube and think I've got, me too, Diana. Hello, Adrian and Nico. How are you doing? Happy to come in and support our friends. Good jobs, guys. Big thumbs up for the host. Thank you so much. They are workout buddies. um, I joined another YouTuber in her workout a workout challenge, and so I got to know a lot of different people on that side of things, the
That's
workout
fun.
aspect.
Yeah.
It is. um you know Collabs are so fun. And have you found any problems here on YouTube, or do you feel like this keto community is helpful? And
Okay, I have 65 subscribers. No one is mean at this point. Um,
well,
Nobody has said anything mean to me yet at all. Um,
it's
I
great.
I don't think that I think because of the way I choose to eat, I don't think I'm that interesting. So I don't really think it's going to go anywhere, and that's okay. I don't want to inspire anybody to bring their mean side out anyway, to get their claws out, and that's not what I'm there for. I wanted to be part of it. I just wanted to get to know some of the people and watch them succeed, and maybe get help them, just to be part of the supportive community. But I mean, I've heard some horror stories, or just the way
Mhm.
you hear a YouTuber say, well, I did this because of that, and don't be mad about this or that. And I'm like, wow. No, so I know I didn't experience anything like that.
I watched some of those and I'm thinking, I wouldn't even have gave that a second thought. I don't understand why you're telling us that now, but
Right. I guess they want the
positivity.
response though. The person that said it wants the response. But I have seen, well, no, I did have one time, I did have somebody that got really upset with me. I had commented on another YouTuber's video saying, yes, we need to be support for each other. And I don't remember what else I said, but I went on with it a little bit. And then I remember I went to Home Depot after that and I got this notification and I had this big long paragraph. And this young woman said to me that I don't even deserve to be on there. And I was just an old lady and I didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, oh my gosh, she took completely what I was saying out of context. I mean, I meant no harm at all. I was trying to be supportive, but
Supportive.
I I guess the age difference, I didn't word it correctly because I really offended her. Because then the YouTuber that it was her channel, she commented, she said, I had to read it several times. I don't know if she said 3 times or several times. And she goes, I think that it really came from her heart and she didn't mean it the way you took it. I
Well,
was like,
that's good. At least the original
yeah.
recipient understood where your heart was.
And then
Right.
the girl came back on and gave a big long apology that she was really sorry for everything that she said and she would never let it happen again. And that's the only experience I had. But I was like, holy cow.
Oh, when I first started, there was a huge personality, keto personality having a live. There was about 500 people in this live, and I'm just typing along like everybody else, typing out some things of what she's saying, and she flips out, Evie. I mean, she just flips out. Don't come on my channel and self promote. I was
Oh,
on my keto channel, and mostly
yeah,
I had my private channel commenting, and I thought she's not talking to me, and there's nothing I've put in here that's. But she called me out on live. It's 500 people in the room. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. All I did, it was just my name. It was just Life Adventures in Keto. I wasn't saying, come watch me. I'm going to be live in
right.
30 minutes or something, you know. I thought, oh my gosh, that's not what I meant at all. And I thought, oh,
Well, and
but
some of the YouTubers that are on here are very kind and they'll say, you can't say, come visit my channel, things like that, but you can say, visit me or something like that and let people know that you have a channel because, I
right.
mean, everybody has a free choice to go check out a channel. I mean, I've gotten on the lives because I'm looking for channels. I'm looking for people to watch
I have
because
done that as well.
you do connect with some of the people and you don't connect with some of the others. And it's not a bad thing to not connect. It's just that
Hmm.
when you're looking for that support, then it's nice to have somebody that is, I can't connect necessarily with a 20-year-old that's gonna, she's gonna run a half marathon and she's carbing up. I can't do that myself. Not that I wouldn't be interested in her, but that wasn't what I was looking for when I was transitioning from high carb to low carb to keto to mostly like carnivore. That wasn't going to help me, although it's more entertaining probably than somebody just sitting in front of their computer.
Well, I mean, so you started your channel for more of like an accountability for yourself to begin with. Is that the reason
Yeah,
that
my
you?
first video says, "Hey, I want to be part of the community. I want to reach out and make some friends that people that like you can say, "Hey, how much have you lost?" and then, "Well, I kind of had a tough week," or whatever's going on with them. We have personal crises that happen and sometimes that can throw people off track, whether it's they stop eating or they overeat, and have somebody to give them some encouragement and, you know, or if they want somebody to pray for them, where there's support all the way around because it's a whole to to be healthy is a whole huge realm of things that having clothes that you look nice in and like we talked about getting enough sleep and eating right and having friends to talk to and especially in 2020, I mean, everybody is acting like because we have to like we're all introverts instead of getting out and socializing. I know I was at the park in the middle of the summer and I stopped. There was this big heron that was out there catching fish. And I stopped and I was talking to this guy and I turned around. I was like, hi, my name is Evie. And I reached out to shake his hand and he shook my hand. I was like, oh my gosh, we're not supposed to do that. I'm so sorry. And that's it. Me talking to everybody that I see has really gotten me, like, nobody has gotten mean with me or whatever, but I'm just like, oh, sorry, because it's so hard not to talk close to somebody or shake their hand, and especially if I don't wear a mask when I'm out walking. Some people do, but now I've learned you just walk and you wave and say hello to the people that that you see every day. So,
Try to stay separate, but also interact with them. I don't
mhm,
mean a stranger.
mhm.
I don't mean a stranger either. And so that's been the most difficult part of this process for me too. So we have Miss Nana Grace is in the room. Hey, Nana Grace, how are you? Diana says she loves to finding new channels as well. And Lily said, I love that. I'm not sure what she loved. Something we said. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know, but see, one of my first video on here too was let's help each other. So we were kind of in the
Yeah,
same set as
yeah,
that. Let's just all be friends. We
yeah,
thought
yeah.
instead of being competitors, let's just all be friends, and that's kind of the way I take mine as well. But I have mean comments on my hunting videos. I don't know if you hunt or if your family hunts, but I get novel comments on those videos, so the people aren't very supportive of that kind of thing, but that's okay. But
Oh,
other
yeah,
than that, blocked
there's
a
a
couple of
lady
people.
that, sorry, go ahead.
I've blocked a couple of people who would always show up and say something ugly,
Hmm.
that just block them off the channel altogether. But other than that, everybody's been nice.
Oh, it has been getting so cold, Nona. I don't know where you are. I'm in Texas and it's 50 degrees colder this week than it was last week.
She's in New York,
Oh, is
I believe.
she? Well,
I
she's probably
believe.
colder than we are then.
And Vicky Marie came in. I'm sorry, Vicky, I missed you. Hello. She's in Colorado and they've got fresh snow this morning or yesterday morning, I think was the video that I watched. But they have plenty of snow. And Vicky Marie, I don't know if you've heard of Vicky Marie Living Life, but she's a great channel as well. She's real
Vicky
sweet.
Marie Living Life. Is that what you
Uh-huh.
said?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it Y or IE?
I.e.,
Okay.
let's see.
And I wrote down Keto for Real Life People. I hadn't heard of that one either.
Yes, that is Nancy Childress. If you want to follow her on Facebook, I think she's under Nancy Childress. But here on YouTube, she's pretty on up there. I think she's nearing 20,000 subscribers. But she's the best down to earth person still, even though she's really high in the numbers. And of course, here we had I can't think of her name now. I'll never be able to find her. She's pretty high. It's like a Ketolicious Life. She has like 11,000 subscribers, and she's just the best down to earth person as well. So you just never know who you're going to meet on here and who you're going
No.
to click with, and you're going to. Sometimes I'm listening to the YouTube while I'm cleaning, and I'm not watching. I'm listening, and
Hmm.
it'll send me to another channel while I'm in the middle of what I'm doing and can't get back to the phone. And it's just that I needed to hear whatever it was that they brought to me, but I did press on a particular one I wanted to hear. So sometimes I really, let it just take me wherever it's going to take me. And then
Is that you have it
see,
on autoplay? Is that why?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I try to put on, I can't think of the name of the word right now, but not a playlist because you can't make a playlist. So watch later, and then after that
Oh,
watch
okay.
later files are finished, then it will just go on to whatever next is on the
I
feed.
see. Okay.
So, but I also like to watch lives just to go in and say hello to everybody and see who's there and find some more names and see if I can't click with those. And then along the way, I've seen a couple of people that I would love to come back to YouTube that have dropped off of YouTube that I enjoyed and I got, a lot of stuff out of it. So
How long have you been on YouTube?
just a year, I believe, a little
Okay.
over a year. I'm at the point now where I have the people numbers, but my watch hours are really low. So every month they take my watch hours away.
Oh,
So,
I
because
don't even pay attention to that yet.
Right. I'm nowhere. I mean, there's no reason for me to look at it anymore either, because I'm nowhere near that. It'll be years, if at all. So that's fine
Yeah.
too. But so I can get really bogged down with some of the numbers, but I just realize where I am and what I started here. I wanted this as accountability for me and to find
Hmm.
like my people. So if I don't get anything but good friends out of it and good information, then that's fine
Right.
too.
Yeah, I did go in and look at my analytics one time, and it was like people were watching half of my videos, and that's when I was kind of like, well, guess I'm not very interesting.
I mean,
They're
I
shutting it
hate
off.
I hate looking at that too, but you got to look at that. It's like it's a 16-minute video. Let's talk about the one I
Hmm.
put out today. It's just a 16-minute video. I had 4 hours and 47 minutes of footage that I had to condense into
Wow.
16 minutes. So that takes at least an hour. Then I'm only working on my cell phone. I don't have a computer so I have to upload when I'm on Wi-Fi. So I have to get it ready before I go to my client's house and let it upload on Wi-Fi. And I'm thinking, you only stayed for 3 minutes and 23 seconds of this video. Just
Well, see, I'm a lousy editor. I really don't know how to do it. I use what's on Windows 10, and I actually started a new channel on Saturday night that I bought a parrot, and so I'm good. It's a baby, and so I'm starting a new channel for that. And so I was like, up at the top right, it said, where you can put whatever words you want over the top of the picture, right? So I did that, and then I touched this line, and the whole thing had colors behind it, and I was like, okay, well, I'll leave it that way. And then I made sure it looked fine all the way through, and when I got done and it was actually published, just up in the top right hand corner it says thanks, and that was in the middle of the video. It was supposed to be at the end on a card, and I was like, oh well, I guess I need to just spend the money and get a video editing program because I'm not any good at it. And I was trying to, like, I had just little like 2-minute clips here and there, here and there, here and there, and then kind of combine them all together. And I was actually cutting them down. But I would say I spent maybe I did spend an hour doing it, but I didn't have near the time of footage I was going through. It was like just trying to piece together some order of a minute clip and 2-minute clips. And so I need
well, I'm
to
a
do better.
sometimes I only have this weekend I'm making a spot at my house to actually film at the
Good.
house. There's nowhere for me. So my birthday, and my husband said, what can I get you for your birthday? He was talking about a ring light because I really wanted a ring light. I said, well, the ring light's not going to do me any good if I don't have a space to film in. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't have anywhere to put my ring light if you
You
bought
don't
it
want to
for
put it
me.
on the hood of your car?
Yeah, I mean, so he said, well, here's some money for some plastic bins. Go get plastic bins for all that stuff. We can make this corner in the bedroom yours. And I'm like, oh, I gotta do this like now before he changes his mind. So,
When
but
I did that in my bedroom, I had a YouTube channel years ago too. Um, and I didn't edit anything. I just went on there and I said what I was going to say, and then I just published it. And I had one of those, I don't know if they're called a room divider, but they fold into thirds.
mhm,
And that was what I put up. So it was in the corner of a bedroom, and I put it up behind me, and you couldn't see like the bed or the doorway, then couldn't tell where I was. And I like that a
right.
lot. So that's good for
Well,
a background.
I feel like that I won't have to go through so much footage if I have a spot, because sometimes I film myself in the car and I'll press record before I get in, before I start, and then I stop when I get to work. So that's a good 40 minutes of me just rambling on, and I'm a mess. So I have to edit out the mess. It's not good. But so I just go about the day with a couple of video clips. So some days I don't have quite that much, but then I have to listen to it because I don't want to put out something. Anyway, I'm a perfectionist, and so I edit it to death. And here we are 4 hours later, and it's only a 16-minute video. Michelle just put it up. What is so
Right. Well, that's what I realized when I was going through, because, like when you're training a dog, you're supposed to use one word commands. And I always speak sentences to them, which they can't understand. And I realized when I was looking back at this footage, when I was training the bird, that I'm talking nonstop through the whole thing. And, once the bird has already done something fantastic that you want to show, I mean, I guess if I knew how to do it, I could edit my voice out. But yes, I'm like speaking complete sentences and I'm asking him questions and I'm like, I sound like I'm nuts. But that's it. I'll ramble on. I'll forget that there's something there actually recording me on the stand. I'm like, oh, like what? No, don't do that. Get back up there now. Come on, let me help you. And I'm like, that's not how you train a bird. But yeah, I'm chatty too.
So,
Oh,
Amy,
there's
thank you, Nona
Keto.
Grace. Amy has said it took her over 2 years to get monetized. She says, "Oh my gosh, a parrot!" And then now she wants
Yes.
to know, what
I
did
know
you
you
get?
have a cockatoo. Her name is Amy. I only know her as the Ketolicious, but we've lost
Right.
about the same amount of weight.
She wants to know what you got. Did you
I
say that?
got I got an Indian ring neck and he's 3.5 months old.
Oh, Diana
Good,
has
good,
two.
good. Yay, Vicky. I have a budgie too.
Aw, cockatiel and parakeets. Is that the only pet that you have now? Is the bird, or do you have other
I have
pets?
2 birds and 2 dogs. Well, one dog is
No.
9 and one dog's my husband's. I have a Yorkie that's 9 and he has a blue heeler that's 9.
Aw,
Yeah,
I want another one. We lost our lab a couple of winters ago, and my husband's not ready yet. One day,
I
maybe.
get that. I get that.
Mm.
Oh,
Not
chickens
a
are
great.
so nice. I know a
She,
rooster is a male chicken, but they're so nice.
she's trained this chicken to do a lot of things. You
You
have to go.
can. They love people. If you spend time with them and you open the door, they'll come right in the house. I used
Oh,
to have an African gray and a cockatoo. Oh, when you have a green cheek, I wanted either a green cheek or a ringneck or a Quaker.
Diana says her cockatiel eats her dog food. She's waiting for it to bark.
Oh, maybe that's the ones that bark. They are eating dog food.
Mr. Brown. Oh yeah, Miss Nana Grace's chicken's called Mr. Brown.
That's so cute.
Vicky says she likes Mr. Brown too. Miss Nana, yes, and Mr. Brown lives in Nana Grace's house. He lives in the house with her.
Good,
So,
good.
Nana Grace, would you like another chicken to go in the house? I have one chicken left at my house. Poor thing. There's just one left. Hubby wants.
Oh, Amy, you should start a channel.
Yes, and you need to get you an action camera for your bird as well, Evie. Just set it up all the time on a
I
24-hour
should.
feed of the cocktail.
And I'd have to do nothing. All I'd have to do is
That's
edit and
right.
put it up.
That's right. Then you can go in there every now and again and speak some commands and see if it does the commands, and if it does, good. If it doesn't, that's fine
Or
too.
just wait and see what it does and then voice over like I did the commands and the bird did what I told it to.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, turn.
That's
Look, it
funny.
turned.
He did what I said. He did what I said.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Like, do you do any of the other little apps like TikTok or News Clapper or any of those kind of
No,
funny apps? There's some funny
no.
things on there, but they show some people are starting to show how they made the video. It looks like they're laying on the bed and they're drinking water upside down and stuff. And we all know that's editing tricks, but
Right.
I'm liking some of these people. One lady was her husband was bouncing a ball into a cup, and of course she's just standing there dropping it in the cup, right, as the
Uh-huh.
angle. I was like, I would have never known that if y'all hadn't come and showed me that that was happening.
That's what we need is we need a video editing collab. We need to get these people that are good at this. Like
Yeah,
Ketolicious Life, she's got a really nice. Well, you did too though today with the country view of your intro. I was gonna say your
I
entry.
just those
That's nice.
wildflowers. Those wildflowers got me. I had those were in Georgia when I was visiting my dad, and they were in the middle of a median on a huge highway. So, of course, I'm stopping on the side of the road, traipsing across 2 lanes of traffic. They
Oh
were
my gosh.
mini, they were mini sunflowers. I mean, I was in love. I've never seen a mini sunflower before, but they were teeny. I thought, goodness gracious. So sad they like company. They do like company, Miss Donna Grace, but I can't get any more chickens. I just can't do it. Oh my goodness, Diana's bird has its own place at the dinner table.
That's awesome. I bet he will sing for his dinner too.
Oh,
5 parrots. That's crazy. That's crazy good. I used to have an African gray and a cockatoo. I actually couldn't stand the cockatoo. I don't think he liked me either. But my
it was
African gray,
mutual.
like, he was, oh, if I moved a fork in the kitchen, he was like, ah, ah, ah. He wanted to eat 24/7 and he wanted to be like right here, but he was screaming the whole, I don't know what was wrong with him. And it may have just been me, but I took him back to the breeder I got him from and I said, I can't handle him. And she said, no, you did the right thing. You always bring them back when they're babies. He will match up with somebody else. And I just thought I lost all the money I spent on him. And she mailed me a check a month later. She resold him. So that
Wow.
was
Well, that was
so
really
nice.
nice.
Yeah. Wow. All rescues. The one I got's not a rescue. He was, the lady was friends with the breeder and um, she had lost her bird and she got gifted this bird and it was the too soon thing. She just wasn't ready to get another one. So that's how I ended up with this one.
No.
But he's not keto, that's for sure. He
So,
loves carbs.
well, that's good. You have somebody to feed the carbs to, and
I
then you
do.
just. She says her birds are all talkers too. Um,
I'm excited for that. So I got him Thursday night and I got out of the shower on Friday morning and no, I'm sorry, it was Monday morning, it was yesterday morning, and he chuckled. And I'm always laughing. So I don't know if he was laughing because I'm always laughing or he got that from somebody else, but that was pretty cute. And if I turn a bird video on, he really likes that too. I just don't
oh,
want to do it too much and encourage him to like scream, you know?
yeah. To pick out listen to him first, and pick out the
Yeah.
pick out the pieces you want him to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like some customers of mine got a new puppy and they were really doing some things at the beginning. And I said, well, it's cute now that he's a month old,
Mm-hmm.
but eight
Mm-hmm.
months old, he's 3 times that size. That's not going to be cute anymore.
Right.
So you need to be
Yeah.
really careful at what you're teaching him. You laughing at him and getting attention is,
Yeah,
you
that's
need to
right.
be
It's cute for a 6 pound Yorkie running across the back of the couch, but a Great Dane doesn't look quite as cute.
careful. Oh, I miss my little Yorkie. I had a Yorkie a long time ago.
Yeah,
I'm a
they're
dog.
sweet dogs. They're sure high
Uh,
maintenance. I don't like having to take her to get groomed because she hates it.
Diana's calling me out. Yes, Diana, it's a birthday bang bash.
But it is your birthday,
I know you have to,
so
right?
it's appropriate.
I'm
Yeah.
not supposed to today because I'm doing a really good cut right now, but these coffees at this coffee house are extremely high in the carbs, even though it's sugar-free syrups that I'm getting in them. So I decided to go with the bang instead. This, half the back of this can is the ingredient list, so it can't be good for you. But oh well.
I'll write that down, Filmora.
Filmora. She says it's very laggy and slow sometimes.
Well, I am
Do you
too, so it'll probably work pretty well for me.
work out? Do you
Yeah.
edit on a computer then? Do you edit on a
Yes.
computer or a
Yeah, I
laptop?
use my tablet and my phone and then load it onto the computer.
Thank you, Nana Grace. Lily Carter says she misses Yorkies too.
They are something else. Yeah, she started barking and my husband took her in the other room. She has a stroller, she has a car seat, she has a playpen. She's pretty spoiled.
Oh, she says the boys are screamers either way. Be careful.
Okay, good to know.
Ooh, Vicky Marie says she uses Filmora as well, but hers
I
doesn't
saw
lag.
that. I'm definitely going to look that up.
Which eye strengths, Diana? Did Bang come out with something new that I'm not familiar with?
I think she means the ice drinks in the plastic bottle.
Oh, okay. Oh, ice.
The,
Oh, I got you.
yeah,
Got you. The
yeah.
sparkling water. I got
Yeah,
you.
I like the black raspberry, I think it's called.
I think I've only tried
Oh,
one of
Amy,
those.
I have never had a baby bird. Well, that's not true. My budgie, I got her as a baby, and she will like, she lets me like cuddle her in my hands and on my shoulder, and she hangs upside down on my finger, and she flies, to and from whatever. But um, this baby is completely different, and I feel bad because it's like the new bird is like, oh, has so much potential over a budgie.
Can't play favorites.
I know, I know. I have them both like by me. I work from home in the afternoons and I have a cage on each side of my desk. But I cannot wait for it to be, because as soon as I get off of here, that's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to teach him to fly to me, and all he wants to do is reach. So I'm working with him. I need to stop talking so much and just signal and say one word. So
Or say one word and
yeah, he'll get used to
you're
my
both.
chattiness, I suppose.
Vicky Marie has a dog. His name is Roscoe, and he's a standard Yorkie, and he's so cute. Diana's
Oh,
her favorite flavor on those drinks is black raspberry.
mine too. And
Well,
I've
now I'm gonna.
actually put like just plain carbonated water with the black raspberry. I was doing that when I was hearing on some of the keto channels before I was testing ketones or blood very often at all. Period. I would like do half and half so that I would get less of the bad drink, dilute it down, and it was good that way too.
Okay, I think I've gotten to all the comments now. If you guys have any questions for Evie, you put them in the comments, and we will ask her. I think I got everybody. Just making sure I didn't miss somebody. Um, Always before when I would see people in these lives, and I thought, how are they keeping up with everything? And I'm better at it today than I was a couple of months ago. But it's hard to be here, be present, be interviewing, and watch the people
I
put the
bet.
comments in as well.
And we kind
So
of got off keto. Sorry about that. I got
that's
excited.
all right. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, how long have you been keto, Evie? Nana Grace wants to know.
The end of December of last year, like right after Christmas, I went low carb on December 16th, and I realized how much better I was feeling. I just decided that's when I started getting on YouTube and I found out what keto actually was. And I was like, well, why don't I just do that? Because I thought low carb would be instead of eating like 15 chips, if I ate 5 chips. You see what I'm saying? Like just in case.
Right.
And so I don't know that I was really doing it wrong, but I could definitely do it better. So so it was December. So I'm about 10 months, close to 10 months in.
Right. Well, still, I mean, 50 pounds in 10 months is a pretty good feat. I mean, if you think about the duration of time it took you to put that weight on, my
Yeah.
husband says it a lot to me. You have to remember that it wasn't 7 months that you put this weight on. It took you 10 years plus to put it on. So it's going to have to take you to take it off. It's not instant, but
Well, and people talk about how they still have they still think they're big, they look bigger than they do. And then of course skin takes time to adjust as well. So
mm,
I think that's why I'm saying the last 7 or 8 pounds, whatever it is, till next summer, I'm completely fine with, because if it happens, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. My skin will just look that much better. Just
mhm,
gonna
right.
ride it out the way it is. Because I don't want to do something that is so difficult that I dread getting up and figuring out what I'm going to eat, and I'm miserable because we don't get to that day where we're like, okay, now we can go back to what we were doing before, because that doesn't work for us.
Mm-mm.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have to be doing this. I shouldn't say have to. I actually really enjoy it. It's like very chill. It's very easy.
Right. Do you see on an emotional level that you're better with emotions now? Not just the weight loss, but
Absolutely.
the emotional side of
Yes.
things?
Yes. Yes. I had problems in the very beginning with rapid heartbeat when I was laying down. And I started looking that up, and it could have been potassium or magnesium. And I did up the um, electrolytes, and that seemed to help. It took several months. Every once in a while, I'll still get a leg cramp or a foot cramp in the middle of the night, but that's not very often.
But that's good. That means you have your electrolytes balanced. I'm still obviously having problems with mine, so I'm going to have to go back to, I don't know, that Dr. Berry had a Keto recipe that I used to use a lot, and I may just have to do that. But Miss Nana Grace has been keto since this 2017 because of menopause, and she was trying to regulate her hormones. Diana wants to know, do you track everything you eat on the program? I think we've
No, I
discussed
stopped
that.
about a month ago. I stopped about a month ago. I
Did you?
think for me, tracking, I typically I'm not a person that has a very big appetite. I mean, of course, there's always the exception. I think I out ate my husband on Saturday. We went to a Brazilian steakhouse, and the guy came back around again. He's like, "Oh, do you want whatever?" And I was like, "Sure." And my husband's like, "Okay." and I
Hey,
and my weight was like 143 on Saturday when I got up, and I went, and I mean, I ate a lot, and I when I woke up, I weighed 142, and I was like, "Oh, maybe we should go back today." But I was back, I was back up to 143 the next day. But no, what was happening to me was like on a day that I wasn't very hungry, and I would look at my macros, like, oh my gosh, I've have only got 900 calories. I have to eat more. I have to eat more, and I would like feel like sweaty palmed about it. Like I'm doing bad. I'm doing bad, and I was like, I can't even. I'm talking about it is doing that to me right now. So I do better not even worrying about the calories. And then occasionally I'll pop in and I'll put in what I think would, like how many ounces of this and how many ounces of that. And sometimes it's like, 2000 calories or 2300 calories. And it seems to make no difference what calories I eat as long as I just eat when I'm hungry and eat what sounds good. I mean, of course, that is good for me to eat. And it seems to work out better for me. That way I'm like a lot less stressed.
right. And and Diana, I don't track everything, but for this next 30 days, I'm trying to track everything, and it's very difficult to track the things. It's difficult
It's a
to
lot of
track.
work. It's diligence. I mean, I did have stuff that went in there permanently every day, like the heavy cream, the stuff I knew I was going to have for sure every day. I put that in to automatically load.
That way, you could just pick from that item. My problem is I don't have Wi-Fi at or good coverage at my house
Oh,
by the lake, and so I can't use my apps at home. And then during the day, I'm a housekeeper, and then I'm running and doing crazy things all during the day and errands and all that stuff. So sometimes I forget to load it, and then
yeah,
just
yeah, that would be inconvenient, definitely.
so I did notice on my video today that I didn't add in my second quarter pound burger in there, so my everything's off. But I mean, it doesn't. I don't guess anybody really cares. But I wanted to be as
Right.
legit as I could be, and I thought 800 calories. So I was kind of like you, but we were ingrained so long to not be under 1200 calories and all this for so long that it's terrible that we get that emotional over being less calories than what we think they say we should have.
Oh, and I hear
But
people say that they need to like shock their body. Like if you always eat at this time, eat at a different time, or you always eat this food, eat this different food, or add more calories in or take more calories out. And I think for me, not logging, then I naturally do that. If I have a low calorie day and I don't think about it, I'm fine. If I have a high calorie day, I don't think about it and I'm fine. And it all seems to work out fine.
I actually give that advice often when somebody asks me if they're at some kind of plateau, where I think all of us have different ideas of what a plateau really is too.
Hmm.
So some people say a plateau because they're losing weight might be 5 or 6 days, and I'm thinking that's not a plateau. I've went 2 months the same weight before, still doing the
Exactly.
same thing. But you do sometimes do have to turn it on its head and fast, like you say, you like to do breakfast and lunch, but if somebody were on a plateau, maybe they would do lunch and dinner and work out in the morning, or kind of turn it on its head and do something different sometimes.
Um, yeah, September 30th, I weighed, well, no, even go back further than that. September 24th, I weighed 144 pounds, and it's October 27th, and I weigh 143 pounds. So that's a
Right,
pound in a month. That's what I'm
right,
saying. If I get 7 pounds or 8 pounds off by next summer, how many months is that really? Just January to June is 6. So, I mean, that really could be that long.
right, right. And then, like you said, you're closer to your goal as well, and maybe even your body's set point weight. So it's just more difficult when we get this close to where
Hmm.
we're wanting to go as well. There's all kinds of menopause things in here. Lily Carter says, I'm in this for a lifetime commitment. Depression is worse if I stray. And I have to agree with that,
That's
Lily.
true.
Depression is, I have an anxiety problem on a regular basis, not necessarily with the depression all the time, but that does hit too. But yeah, I am in that Perry stage, and I need all the help I can get. So if any of you menopause suggestions, um, I ask a lot of people all the time, did you transition menopause naturally? Because 90% of the women in our United States now don't naturally
No,
transition
I
into.
didn't. I didn't. And it was absolutely terrible. I had my hysterectomy in 2010, and I was probably about, well, I was in the hospital a couple days. So I was within 10 days of having surgery. And I called the doctor's nurse and I said, I'm really, really having problems. I said, I feel like I could kill somebody. And, it wasn't like I had a person picked out. It was just like so much frustration, so many emotions. I mean, it was the hormone thing. And she said, I'm calling a prescription in, have your husband pick it up on his way home from work. So it was the hormones. And I took them for about 3 weeks and I felt so much better. And then it all started all over again. And I called her back and she said, stop taking them immediately. And then it all went away. And I wasn't fine since then, but I never had that anger that
Mhm.
I wasn't used to feeling, obviously, that was like, where is this coming from? Why am I feeling this? And then I was still having hot flashes 10 years later until I did start eating keto, and all of the hot flashes have went away. About the time the racing heart went away, I mean, I was really afraid that something was wrong, that I was gonna have a heart attack was what it felt like. I've never had one, but you just wonder. And it was worse if I laid on my right side than on my left side. And I was like, what is happening to me? But everything is completely stabilized now. And that's it. I saw somebody, what the Diana said, the sugar and the wheat. Yeah, if I have to
Mhm.
stay away from sugar and wheat, I don't want to lay down on my heart races. I don't want to be sweating for no reason and feeling my pulse go up, and all that's went away.
So Lily had to have a hysterectomy at the age of 38. Yeah, I mean,
How
I
old is
can
she
agree with
now?
how, if you don't mind telling us, Lily, how old are you now? Um, you know, when we first moved here, I was taking an over the counter something. I'm allergic to a lot of medicine, so I'm not sure exactly what it was now, but it wasn't the mainstream one that everybody goes for. But I finally found a pharmacist that would order it for me, and he called it that. Don't kill your husband and kids medicine. He would say, "Don't
Wow.
forget to order Michelle's Don't Kill Her Husband and Kids medicine," because I was so angry without a reason. There was no
Well,
reason for me to be that physically angry, but it was
right.
just
Nothing happened.
like
Nothing
one more,
happened. Yeah.
the next person that makes me angry, when I was going through that a lot, I could see where people break some. I mean, just break a mental
Snap.
break.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Well,
I'm
and I
also
thought, should I even say this, that I was feeling that way? But when people say how they feel or what they went through, it opens it up for other people to say, oh my gosh, I felt the same way.
that's right. Well, the person that did break didn't say anything. Probably she's 48
Right.
now.
Okay.
She's
So
had
10 years. And that's when it kind of started stabilizing, but I changed my diet too. And
So
she
Diane
immediately,
went through.
oh wow, 22 years. You mean for the hot flashes in the summer? Is that what she's referring to?
What? Oh, let's see. Can you say? Then this summer decided I needed to stop. Can you say stupid? Yeah, why did you do that in the summer? Stop. Yeah, those hot flashes. I walk around. My husband laughs at me, and I don't know if the rest of y'all's husbands are laughing at you when you're going through this, but I can have on shorts and a tank top, and I'm carrying around my house coat and some slippers because right now I'm burning up. But in 10 seconds, I might be cold. I may need the. So he's like, "What's going on here? What is the problem?" So for the longest of time, I hated that he would sleep with the fan. So about a week or so ago, he said, "Are you turning the fan off of me and onto you in the middle of what is going on?"
I remember one winter I was outside at work, and I worked at the same place for 27 years. And I mean, I had a long sleeve shirt on and pair of pants on, but that heat came from inside. And I mean, I felt the sweat coming on my face and starting to drip down. And one of the guys I worked with said, "Are you all right?"
No,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
just
all
really
right.
hot in there because it's like ice on the ground and I'm out standing in the ice. And he's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "I will be in a minute."
I'm in the ice now. I'm good. Speaking of ice, I say often now that I'm having these hot flashes because I used to make fun of my mother where I would be walking through the house and all of a sudden I'd pass the kitchen and I'd see her with her head sticking in the freezer. Like I would just be so like, "Mama, what is going on?" She's like, "Nothing, nothing to see here. Don't worry about me." Just, but she was,
It's funny.
I'm burning up from the inside out.
It's true. It's like somebody turned a heater on in you and you can't turn it off.
Nana Grace says she hit menopause at 57.
Wow,
Um,
that's good though, because that's like not in the 30s or 40s. That's good.
yeah, Vicky Marie on one of her last videos says that she's sleeping with ice packs.
Oh
There's
my gosh.
actually there's actually an ice pack, Vicky Marie, that we might be interested in. It's called the menopause ice pack, and it goes between the girls. I thought I need one of those. I need one. But I don't know. I mean, and then she also said in her video that it took her 10 years to she's 10 years and still transitioning. I might hurt somebody before 10 years is up if I keep feeling the way I'm feeling today, though. I mean, something's got to give. But the
Oh,
hot
let's hope
flashes are the
not.
worst of it.
They are, especially in public.
I always dress in layers, and it's that same thing. So I can take that off real quick or I can put it back on. She's such a look. Think of your heat waves as your own private tropical vacation, not a great thing. Oh, me. Goodness gracious. But I ask about every elderly lady that I can find. Did you transition? Well, that I know. I'm not just asking people on the street, but did you transition naturally? And if you did, what did you do?
And I think whether you do it naturally or whether you do it because you had a surgery, I think it's just years and years and years. It's just that you wake up one day and it hits you all at one time, and then it kind of stabilizes out, and we all go through the same. I remember because I had one ovary taken out when I was 22 because it had a cyst on it the size of a grapefruit. So they took the ovary and that cyst out. So I had this one ovary left that, worked. I had two kids. And then when the doctor told me that, because everything had fallen, the vaginal walls had fallen and stuff. And so I had to have surgery to get that was like in 2010, get that all put back together. And he said, "Well, I'm going to go ahead and take your uterus too and your tubes." And I said, "Were you taking the ovary?" And he goes, so I'm 47 at the time. And he goes, "Well, I don't think it's doing you much good anymore." And I was like, "How dare you?" I only have one.
Well, it's not doing you any good.
Right. I
Oh,
was like, I just, in my mind, I saw it mentally just like shriveled to like a raisin,
right.
and it was this big plump, and I just like, yeah, it hurt my feelings.
Are you calling me old, doctor? What is going on
Right.
with that new doctor? Okay, so when you transition to carnivore, also heard this a couple of days ago, and I'm asking a lot more people that are on the carnivore. Did you have what some carnivores would consider the meat sweats or a flushing, as in? I mean, I'm not carnivore, but I have sometimes a flushing, and it's not the menopause flushing. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a heat rush, kind of a flushing kind of sensation, and then about 20 minutes I'm good. But
No.
sometimes it's about what the meal that I have had that might have had like I don't know how to explain it.
Well, you were
Say for
talking about
breakfast.
you were talking about anxiety earlier, and that's the only time that I feel the heat is the when I get anxious about something. Then I feel really like there's an emergency and I feel extremely hot, and but I don't think it has anything to do with what I'm eating. It has to do it's like situational. I have a family member I'm not supposed to talk about that is in hospice, and when I get like a phone call that something is really bad, like
Hmm.
they've gone to ICU or something, then I that's when I feel that panic, and that's when I know it's anxiety then because of the news that I just got. And so I don't think it had anything to do with the meat sweats. I
With the
have
meat
heard
and
that
everything.
before, but I hadn't really
Have
thought about it. Yeah, I've heard of it,
it's
but
just
I've never had it.
I was just wondering if there was a keto flush kind of thing as well as the carnivore or whatever, but mostly that happened to me when I was first starting. But I'd ask everybody, and nobody would ever really answer the question if they knew if that was keto related or what. But it just seems like in a specifically meat filled meal. So I just wondered if it was kind of the same thing.
Well, it's supposed to, according to Dr. Barry, it's supposed to fix your hormones because your hormones are what help you lose weight. So if you're already going through your premenopause, I mean, maybe it is that way for you. Maybe that's why some people are experiencing it wherever they're like, you have more hormones than I do. So
Right,
that would be a real thing then.
right. Nana Grace agrees with you. She gets that heat wave when she's anxious as well.
Oh, I
So
hate
it's
that.
not just you. Well, prayers for your family member and for
Thank
you as
you.
well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My light won't stay on. Well, I think that is all the comments there, Miss Evie. If there's
Well,
anything
thank you
else that
so
you
much.
want to talk about or
I think we said what
anything
I
else you want.
it was a great, great time. Thank you so much. I
It
appreciate it.
was. It was. Well, thank you all for being here. Everybody in the comments for showing up. And I hope that, like I said, I'm going to post Evie's channel link when this posts, probably first thing in the morning. So if you guys are watching this on replay, go by and see Evie. And if you're here from my channel and you don't know Evie, please go by and check her out as well. You guys might be a match. Who knows? We just never know. And I appreciate you doing this with me. I'm just learning.
Thank
Like I
you.
said,
I
I'm just
appreciate you
learning.
doing this. It's very
I'm
nice of
just
you.
learning, learning to interview people, and I'm just a
Oh,
people
you're doing
person.
great.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
All right.
Well,
Well,
Diana
everybody have
said
a
she
good
loves
night.
it. Okay, it was an interesting live stream. It's Hot Mess
Oh.
Express. If y'all choo choo, Hot Mess Express. That's me. Okay, well, you have a good night, and
All right, you too.
tell the birdie we said hello.
All right. Good night,
Don't
everyone.
have too much fun. Bye bye, guys.
Bye.